Now, Ghana and the United Kingdom have reaffirmed their partnership to deal with climate change, adaptation, and resilience. This came out at a meeting at the sidelines of the 27th UN Climate Change Conference of Parties, COP27, currently underway in Egypt. JoyNews' editor, Evans Mensah, is attending the conference and joins us on Zoom with details. Evans, what more has been happening? Any details of this partnership?
So this morning, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources Minister was at an event on the back of the launch yesterday by the President, reaffirming government's commitment in partnership with the United Kingdom to not only to protect the environment, but also compensate farmers who, through farming practices, also contribute to the degradation of the forest, etc. So that arrangement has kick-started today. There was an hour conversation about how Ghana and the United Kingdom can work to do this, provide incentives for farmers in particularly also in the cocoa sector, where we've seen that ravaging some of the forest, but also providing these incentives to the farmers. Yes, who continue to grow their cocoa, but whilst they do that, they have an extra incentive because of some monetary benefits that they get to, while doing that, also protect the environment. And there's also a strong message today from Ghana about ensuring that in doing this, countries and the partners do not work in silence, but work with the local communities, instead of dictating to them how to protect the environment, because they are on the ground on a daily basis, growing crops, working within the forest reserves, etc. But the overwhelming position of the countries around the table, including Ghana, is that the rich countries like the UK, the rich countries like the UK must put their money where their mouth is. In essence, they must fund some of these climate interventions, considering that the West is a significant contributor to climate change, and Ghana and many African countries contribute absolutely negligible to the destruction of the environment through emissions of CO2.
So we've had discussions about, like you alluded to earlier, that they should put monies where their mouth are. What has been the commitment from these developed countries as to how they can help developing economies like Ghana to fight climate change?
The connection isn't great, but if you can hear me, great. I presume you're asking how these rich countries, a commitment for them to assist countries like Ghana to deal with climate change. Well, it comes down really to this commitment, this historic commitment now, which we are going to see ironed out today, in the next few days here at the COP, for the rich and the poor country to sit at the table and negotiate what they are calling the loss and damage compensation package. This has been something that the rich countries have been avoiding for quite some time, more than a decade after the rich countries promised $100 billion to fund, climate adaptation and help countries like Ghana deal with the impact of climate change. We've seen that the rich countries have failed to keep up and honor that pledge. So the countries are not going to sit, rich countries on one end, the poor countries mostly impacted by climate change on the other end, and negotiate in terms of this loss and damage fund. And Ghana obviously is also pitching in there, strongly expected to get a share of this to deal with the environmental impact of climate change that we've seen. This is going to be a very tough negotiation, because the rich countries aren't prepared, as you've seen, the lack of commitment to put in the money. But also because of where the global economy is right now, every country is dealing with their own internal unique challenges. By the way, our president will be speaking within the next 30 minutes, addressing the world at the world stage here in COP27. And we expect him to talk about this, to talk about, the West's commitment to helping countries like Ghana deal with the impact of climate change. I just finished listening to one of the countries here make an important statement. The president is speaking as we speak right now, actually, breaks. The president is speaking live right now at as we speak, in the very moment as we speak, right? He's addressing the world now. And he's going to make it the point. One of the countries before him, I think the president of the good people of Bulgaria was making the point that he nearly didn't show up here because of the economic challenges. And yet the West is telling countries like Ghana that we should abandon our natural resources like oil and gold because of the cancer and significant destruction environment. If you're going to do that, where are we going to get the money to develop? And we expect that the president, as he speaks currently, will be making a point about that and get things to the table to negotiate. This is going to be a pretty tough negotiation, but Ghana is expecting a share of this 100 billion if the West is committed to.
And before the COP27, we had issues of the African message. Have we had a hint of how Africa intends to push its united message to the world, even though every part of the globe is now fighting its own internal economic situations?
I mean, so there's a reason why Egypt, an African country, is hosting the COP. And the strategy for the Egyptians and the backed by the African Union and the many sub-regional bodies is implementation. The sense you get listening to the African leaders, and the president speaking right now, he's talking about that, is that there's been so much talk over the last several decades when countries, the parties have met at COP, at these conferences about commitment pledges. Very little action though, and so the overriding position of the African countries here is moving from talk to action. And when you hear the African leaders speak, the primary thing that they keep pushing is that the West must now put their money where their mouth is. They are contributing 95% of the global emissions. Africa is just under 4%. And so they bear the responsibility to fix the problem and have to put in the funds needed. And that has been the united position of the Africa here. And Egypt is leading it. Implementation is the focus of the COP now. We don't want pledges anymore. And that is why there's an agreement that the two sides will sit and iron out some hard truths about how to proceed. The president just finished speaking, by the way, addressing the world on climate change. I'm pretty sure we'll get to hear a bit more of what he just said there in the last 3 minutes.
Okay. Evans, I'm grateful that you could join us from Egypt with the latest on the COP27. So that JoyNews editor Evans Mensah will be getting more from him in our subsequent bulletins. This is still the news desk. We'll take a quick break. When we come, we'll bring you latest from the world of business.